What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Dime. Today, Kwab and I go pole dancing and give you our power rankings. But first, if you want to follow The Dime, you can on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere at The Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, a.k.a. Yes. We have done nothing but react to freaking game after game after game. So much so that we forgot that we actually did a podcast. Like this is the normal version of the podcast, and we haven't done it in such a long time. If you're watching on YouTube, you could also subscribe on Apple and Spotify if you'd like as well. If you're listening still on Apple and Spotify, our numbers have dropped dramatically. But if you're still with us, thank you.
We
Subscribe
appreciate
on
you.
YouTube. We appreciate you guys, the OGs back in the day. But yeah, Kwab, are you ready to go pole dancing?
Let's go pole dancing, man. Regular episode time.
You know you want it. It's time to go pole dancing. Get your mind out the gutter. We're talking about Twitter polls. My goodness.
All right, this is pole dancing. Kwab and I put up 3 polls on our Dimes NBA Twitter account at the Dime NBA. You answer them. We're going to go over the results. Let's go to the first poll. Poll question number 1, who is the second best team in the West? Coming in first at 68.8%, it's the Denver Nuggets. Coming in at second place, it's the Golden State Warriors at 18.8%. The Lakers, 12.4%. And the Rockets had 0%. We did have a comment. Shout out to AJ Kelly. He said the Grizzlies, which I vehemently disagree with. Vehemently disagree with it. You know how I feel about the Grizzlies, man. Second best team? Second best? Come on.
I saw that
bro.
comment by AJ. I was like, yes. I'm like, wow, well, he did leave off the Grizzlies off the poll.
I like the Grizzlies. They're cool. Don't get me wrong. But second best, AJ? Come on. Stop it,
Possibly.
bro.
It's a possibility.
I mean, listen, it's a possibility because there's a lot of teams that, and I said this before in previous recaps, this year it feels like there's only really 3 good teams and everybody else is just incredibly flawed and pretty good, but not really good to the point where it's like, oh, they can win a championship. And that's what makes this question so intriguing because outside of Oklahoma City, I don't think a lot of people can picture a team in the Western Conference winning not just the Western Conference, but the NBA Finals in general. But the Nuggets came in first at 68.8%. And Kwab, I got to tell you, I kind of agree. Even though defensively they've been an absolute mess lately, they're having trouble with the Washington Wizards as we speak, which that's fun. So they barely beat a Lakers team without LeBron James, without Luka Doncic. How do I think that they're the second best team in the West? I don't know. A lot of it has to do with the fact, though, that a team like the Grizzlies, I don't think in a playoff situation when things slow down, they're going to be able to execute on the half court at all because they don't really have much variation on offense. The Rockets can't hit open shots, and they're the 2 seed right now. The Lakers right now, yes, you have Luka, you have LeBron, and I do think they could be a bad matchup for the Nuggets in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, who's playing the 5? Jackson Hayes has done an admirable job, but there's some weaknesses there as well. We've seen the Nuggets win a championship. They had the best player in the league. Jamal Murray has been playing better. If you're going to ask me who I trust more outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's the Denver Nuggets. I agree with this poll. Kwab, what are your thoughts?
Be very, very careful when you say they have the best player in the league, by the way. That's just...
Jokic is the best player in the league, man.
Yes,
he is.
Yes. He's killing it, as always. It's kind of crazy with this question because throughout the course of the season, it's been the Thunder and people just kind of sneaking in and out the second.
Yeah, the Rockets are back in second right now, and they were they slipped to 5th at some point. The Lakers were there, the Nuggets were there,
the Grizzlies were there.
Grizzlies were there. They were
Grizzlies that you don't believe in. The Grizzlies were there. So it's been kind of like a crazy. Competitive Western Conference, and to your point, a lot of these teams feel like they have certain big flaws in the West, apart from the Thunder, who feel like they're just a perfect team. I do agree with the poll. I would say the Nuggets also, just because they have Jokic, who is arguably the best player in the league. The way they've been able to figure out how to start consistently winning when they started off slow has been very impressive. Aaron Gordon shooting lights out this year. He's having a great season. Russell Westbrook has fit in perfectly with the energy he brings, even when he starts or comes off the bench. Christian Brown has been great as a starter. He's in the conversation of most improved player of the year because his scoring
He's not
input
going to
has
get it, though.
doubled.
Most
He's not
improved
gonna get
player
it.
is not the most improved player. It's the, okay, we knew you were nice, but you nice this year.
You're nice,
award.
yeah. You're the number 2 pick, and we're giving you most.
You've
improved
always
player.
been nice, but now we're going to recognize you as being nice award.
Yeah, which is
Cade
it's the
Cunningham, really,
ridiculous
he
award.
improved the most? Give me a freaking break.
This is why we don't like to talk about awards because
I hate awards.
we
Ja
get so
Morant
won
won it a couple years ago. You tell me
Yeah,
Ja
that was my point. He
improved
was
the most?
the most, again, ridiculous. But also, on top of that, Jamal Murray has finally, he looks healthy. He's been playing well. He still hates the Lakers, so he's always liable to hit a game winner against them. So to me, it is the Nuggets also. Playoff time, you wonder would depend on the team they match up against. It's going to factor in because, like you said, you could see them losing the Lakers. Some reason the Timberwolves have their number.
Yeah, the team.
Even now,
that's a team we
even
haven't
now
talked
after they
much
made the
about.
trade.
Yeah.
So that's also crazy. Like the West is deep. The West is very deep, and from our vantage point is the Thunder and everybody else.
Now, a team I haven't mentioned so far, it's the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
They are 14-1 with Jimmy Butler. They have won 7 straight. They just beat the New York Knicks. Your belief in the Warriors, Kwab? Where are the Warriors in this pecking order? If they're not second, where are they to you?
They could be third. They could be. I don't know.
They can
because
land anywhere, right? It's like I can see them.
Go
But
ahead. Go
again,
ahead.
this what makes the West so interesting to me, right? You have teams like the Rockets, you have teams like the Grizzlies, where it's like, yeah, you're second right now. Yeah, you might be second or third, but at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, am I picking the Rockets or Grizzlies over the Lakers? Am I picking the Rockets or Grizzlies over the Warriors? Are we really like this? Even with the records, like to me, 2, 3, 4 in whatever order you want it to be, it's gotta be the Nuggets, Lakers, Warriors in whatever order you want it to be. As much as I like the Rockets this year, and I think they have a bright future, I can't see myself picking one of those teams to defeat either the Lakers, Nuggets, or Warriors in a 7-game series.
With the Lakers, to me, if they're healthy, because that's gonna be a big factor in it. Like with LeBron being out now, and Luke always seems to be always dealing with something, and like you said, the only big they have is Jackson Hayes. That factors into it. So if they're healthy, they're obviously really, really good with who they have. On the topic of the Warriors, like I thought they would be good after getting Jimmy Butler. I didn't think they would be like on this kind of run that they're on right now, which is kind of ridiculous. And with Draymond saying that during All-Star break, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna win a championship." I was like, "That's you're trying to cash a big ass check, buddy." But to his credit, he's been playing really well. Like, all of a sudden he's a knockdown 3-point shooter, and it's been crazy. So like to me, it's like I just see the Nuggets being, when the Nuggets are playing their brand of basketball, they're really, really hard to beat. So to me, I see them as being the number two team in the West.
All right, let's move on to the second poll question. It is, who wins the Eastern Conference? The Cavs or the Celtics or the Field? Coming in at 87.5%, it's the Cavs or Celtics. The Field got 12.5%. Let me talk to everybody who chose the Field. I don't know how many people it is. It's 12.5%, but listen to me. You were out of your minds. I say this wearing a New York Knicks hat. You were out of your mind if you think anyone outside the Cavs or Celtics are winning the Eastern Conference. Out of your mind. No, you can't even like bring forth an argument in my mind for the Knicks winning the championship. You would, or at least winning the Eastern Conference. You would have to go through the Cavs and Celtics to get there. Same thing with the Bucks. You would have to go through the Cavs and the Celtics to get there. It's not happening. The Cavs and Celtics are on another stratosphere right now. And apps another stratosphere. When it comes to the Knicks can't beat the top teams in the league. They haven't beat the Celtics this year. They haven't beat the Cavs this year. Your 4 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks, they still haven't figured out who the hell they are. Sometimes they look great. Sometimes they don't. They don't use Dame enough for me in the half court. They still really haven't figured out how to use Giannis and Dame, maximizing both of them at the same time. Even though they have played better since their slow start to the season, I can't see them, out-mathing the Celtics, and I can't see them being able to guard the Cleveland Cavaliers the way they are. As much as it pains me to say, this is a two-team race between the Cavs and the Celtics, and we're all just waiting for the Eastern Conference Finals.
What about you? What about the Pacers? You don't have no belief.
Like I said before, this is a two-team race between the Cavs and Celtics, and we're all just waiting for the Eastern Conference Finals.
What about the Pistons? You don't have any.
This is a two-team race between the Cavs and the Celtics, and we're all just waiting for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Also, look, the only thing is that playoffs are funny. Like crazy injuries can happen.
Yeah, but barring
Stuff
injury,
happens.
I can't predict I don't know, half
Yeah.
the Knicks roster is going to, be injured, and therefore the Indiana Pacers are going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. You can't predict that, right? It can happen. We saw it last year happen. But barring injury, the way teams are right now.
Give some credit to the Pacers.
Listen, they won the games. I'm not visiting last year's play. I'm not doing this. Doing this. They deserve all the credit in the world for winning a series. But if we're going to sit here and be honest with ourselves, then half of the Knicks roster was in the hospital. Anyway, this year, specifically, the Pacers, the Knicks, the Bucks are going to need the same amount of injury luck to even come close to making it out of the East, in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. You're gonna need some luck because the Cavs have looked tremendous all year. The Celtics, when they're fully healthy, look ridiculous, and when the math equation is working out in your favor, they just look unstoppable. Really, truly, it's just like it bombs away, and then it's either threes or easy shots to the basket, and it works out for them. And defensively, they're elite. Cavs are also a really good defensive team. Also, I mean, like I said, playoffs are crazy. Stuff can happen, but I don't know who voted for other. I don't know what the other would be. This is the part. This is the part where I'll joke. I would joke around, be like, "Oh, it could be the Nets." No, I'm not even joking around. But
They were Knicks fans. I know they were Knicks fans because I'm a Knicks fan, and I have Knicks fan friends who follow the show.
Yeah, Knicks fans. I mean, right now, you guys have been playing okay without Jalen Brunson, so. There might be faith in the team. You never know. Nah, man, it's Cavs Celtics, man. It's Cavs Celtics. We all know it. So
listen, if the Knicks take it 6 against the Cavs or Celtics in the second round, I'll be thrilled.
I mean, the one team that's really gonna do it is the Miami Heat, but that's for another conversation.
Let's move on to question number 3. Who had the most disappointing season? Coming in first is the Dallas Mavericks. 50%. The Sixers come in second, 37.5%. The Suns came in third with 12.5%. This is an interesting conversation that I've actually had in my group chats about who had the more dreadful season. I'm going to agree with these polls, with the people, with the majority. It's the Dallas Mavericks. Going into this season, you sign Klay Thompson, you sign Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, you bring in all these new reinforcements to bolster up a roster that made the NBA Finals last year. Made the NBA Finals. If you were to tell Mavs fans at the start of the season that Luka would be off the team, the person they traded Luka for, Anthony Davis, would be injured. Half the team would be injured. And they would be where they're at right now. I think they would have told you were on crack. I think they would have told you that you were out of your mind. I think they would have laughed in your face. I think if I would have gave that take to start the season, I think people would have unsubscribed from our podcast. I don't think anyone would have taken us seriously. What has happened to the Dallas Mavericks this year has been an absolute, unmitigated disaster. And there is nothing that I have seen in all of my years of watching NBA basketball that even compares to the type of free fall that this team has had since trading Luka. AD going down, Kyrie going down, half the roster going down. It's just been an absolute nightmare. Ticket prices getting raised for next year. How dare you? How dare you?
You know what would be great? Let's make people pay more for
as bad as it's been for the Sixers, it was never good to start. At the beginning of the season, you can go back during our power rankings. I thought the Mavs were the best team in the West. I was like, you know what? I might take this team over OKC before Luka got hurt and they were clicking on all cylinders. I was like, I like this team a lot. We are far from that right now. Far from that. And I know Sixers fans, you have been through a lot. Paul George has been a disappointment. Joel Embiid has barely played. I get it. They were supposed to be contenders in the Eastern Conference. It hasn't worked out, but that happens sometimes. It's been awful. And it's been really bad. And if not for the Mavericks, it would be the most disappointing team this season. But it's not historically bad. This happens all the time. Every year or two, there was a team that's supposed to contend, that's supposed to be good, that just has the bottom fall out. And that happened to be the Sixers this year. That's nothing new. What is new is what the Mavericks did. Don't know if we'll ever see that again. So I am shocked that it's only 50% because by far, it's been the Mavericks. I can't even fathom thinking anything else.
Yeah. What are the other teams that are on the list?
It was the Mavericks, Suns, and Sixers, or other, and no one voted other.
Okay, so I'll start with the Suns. The Suns are having a very disappointing season, which is kind of very confusing. Having KD, having Devin Booker, even having Bradley Beal, they even changed the team a little bit in terms of bringing in Nick Richards, Plumlee, getting rid of Nurkic because they want a more like vertical spacer for their centers. They added role players. They added point guards with Jones and Monte Morris, who's been injured. But every game I've seen of the Suns, they'll have a healthy lead and somehow lose, and it's just clockwork, and it's very frustrating. That aside.
It's frustrating. It's disappointing.
It's a disappointing season. It sucks, and it sucks. Sixers. What is the? Hold up, I gotta make sure about this. I saw a stat that said the Sixers have 96% of their payroll sidelined right now.
Oh my God.
96% of their payroll. So
that's gross.
That's gross. That's disgusting. Now, with the Sixers, all my friends who are Philly fans, who are Sixers fans, I always tell y'all, something bad's gonna happen with y'all. Like it just works out that way. I don't know if it's the basketball gods mad at y'all for doing the whole process, or allowing Ben Simmons to get traded on my team. I don't know what it is, but this is what you guys have to always deal with. It was on paper we had the Sixers being one of the top teams in the East to start the season because we're like, okay, well, you add Paul George, Maxi's great, Embiid, you know what I mean? It should be a solid season, and now you guys might get the number one pick. Who knows?
Wow.
Well, disappointed. I mean, it's disappointing, frustrating season. You know, it sucks. There's some other random teams, you know, like the Spurs or the Pelicans who've kind of struggled, but again, nobody really voted for other. The Mavs need to be investigated, and I've been saying that every chance I get. I'm tired of getting a notification from Sham saying that the league is investigating the Thunder for sitting players. Who cares?
In a game that they won, by the way.
Who cares?
They won that game.
They won that game. Who cares? I don't care. Why are you not investigating the clear BS that happened right in front of your eyes? Like we all saw it. We all thought that the guy that breaks the news had his phone hacked when it happened. Everybody in the world thought it was a lie. He tweeted out, "This is real. I haven't been hacked." And we're like, "Oh no, you're lying. Show us video proof.
Send us a video. I need to see a video of you.
I need to see like you're okay. Are you like nobody believed it?" Since then, you've had the new owners and Nico Harrison try to justify the moving forward. Be like, "Oh, it's because they were frustrated with Luka. Luka is fat. They want to win on defense." Cool. You get AD. AD starts off having a great game and gets hurt in the same game. He's out. You lose Kyrie. You lose your two athletic bigs, your two centers. Yesterday I saw you guys lost Dante Exum.
Yep.
You traded away Quentin Grimes, who's
They got Max Christie.
for Max because you had Max Christie.
But Grimes has been dropping like
Grimes been dropping like 30
Grimes has
balls.
more 30-point games than Paul George as a Sixer. That's
You know what I
insane.
mean? That's insane. So
That's
I
an
mean, like
insane
disappointing season for the Sixers. But there's some light over there in the corner. But you trade away Grimes for the Martin twin.
Yes.
That's what. And now, I saw a report that says because they have so many injuries and their two ways are running out of time, like days to be able to play, they might have to forfeit games at the end of the year.
That's insane.
Like, really think about a team that just went to the finals, that had the possibility of going to the finals again. Because it was all like, hey, man, wait till Luka comes back. They still have all these pieces. They have a chance. And now is, what the hell happened?
I don't know. I don't know if people believe in karma. Trading Luka, maybe some karmic energy that way.
People need to start believing. People need to start believing in investigations, and the NBA needs to investigate.
I don't know what happened.
What just happened?
I don't know how you recover as a franchise. And listen, AD's good, right? So next year when he's healthy, maybe, and Kyrie's healthy, and the team is healthy, you get off to a nice start. I don't know.
It's not saying that, like, nobody. The crazy part about it is, like, AD is one of the best players in the league. Nobody's saying he's not. There's no argument with that. You just traded away your franchise player. Now, even from the lens of from the business lens, let's look at it from a marketing or a business lens, right? Luka brings you money.
Yeah.
People come to watch Luka, and you just traded it away. You traded away the show, like so. And now you see all the backlash. I don't understand. Like, for the life of me, I can't understand why you would do that.
They need to be investigated.
They need to be investigated. And that's, to me, it's clear. I don't understand why. Also, I don't understand why the poll wasn't 100% the Mavs. Like, what? Stop vote? No.
Someone voted for the Suns. There was someone who looked at the poll and was like, yeah, the Suns, man. The Suns.
That's a whole other conversation. The Suns are a whole other conversation. We might have to do an episode just on the Suns.
Yes.
But it's just, this is the biggest trade that's happened, I think, in the NBA in like my lifetime. It feels like, and everybody was like, why? What the fuck is this? What is this? And the fallout of this has been disastrous, just terrible. Just terrible. And the season's not over yet. So, they might knock on wood.
They might embarrass themselves even more.
That's what I'm saying. Knock on wood. Something else might happen. So, yeah, they're definitely the worst.
All right, Kwab, it's time for our power rankings, baby. Let's do this. Kwab and I were sick. Like I had bronchitis. Kwab, we don't know what Kwab had, but he was sick as well.
Yes.
So there was some basketball we didn't watch. I'll just say that there was a maybe a week or so of
we missed some games. We missed some recaps. We missed a lot. So we're
forgive us.
Kind of behind the power rankings. So forgive
all
us.
Vibes, baby. All vibes and records.
We're back,
baby. Let's do this. Coming in at number 10 is the Milwaukee Bucks. They're 38-28 with wins over the Lakers and the Pacers. They did lose to the Magic, Cavs, and Pacers. So they do drop a spot. They were at 9 last time. Now they're at 10. This team, to me, again, has a really high ceiling, but has a very difficult time getting to that ceiling. They have to do a lot to get to that ceiling. I don't know if they can get to that ceiling. They've been playing okay since their very, very awful start to the season, but nothing really impressive. 2-3 on the week. Almost dropped out, to be honest with you. I was thinking about putting the Minnesota Timberwolves at number 10, but didn't do it. Didn't pull the trigger. The Bucks, to me, right where they should be. 10, maybe 11, 12 spot.
Yeah, we finally recapped the Bucks game, and ended up being a Pacers random buzzer beater
the Tyrese
shot,
and ridiculous shot.
And it's funny because the picture of that shot is you see him like sideways hitting the shot, and you see Doc Rivers and then Darvin Ham with
Darvin
his
Ham
hands
with his hands in his pockets, man.
And I was just like, yes, he is the assistant coach on that team. The Bucks are.
But he wasn't even looking. Like, what was he looking at? If you see the picture, like, what is he looking at?
I don't know, the vibes, man.
Maybe
the vibes. Check
like,
out the vibes.
I would love to like have a thought bubble just to see what was going on in his head.
I like it's the pictures. It's so ridiculous, but it's
That's
just
insane.
It's insane. But with the Bucks, it's like we talk about how we feel like Dame and Giannis, the 2-man game should be utilized more. Giannis is having a really impressive season in terms of how he's improved with the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, he's got that in his bag now, and he's not taking as many threes either.
Which is very, very scary. Very scary. But they've been so inconsistent all year. Even after they made these trades, bringing in Kyle Kuzma, bringing in Jericho Sims, just to make him a little more athletic. Also, Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah.
So they kind of look a little bit different than they did at the start of the year. It's going to be interesting to see them in the playoffs because I wonder if they're going to be able to turn it up like they did during the NBA Cup. But they've just been a very inconsistent team.
All right, coming in at number 9, it's the Golden State Warriors at 39-28, winners of 7 in a row, 14-1 with Jimmy Butler. This week they beat the Pistons, Blazers, Kings, and Knicks all at home. Did not lose. This team has seemed to find its groove with Jimmy. Jimmy's interesting because I don't think he's had like an imprint of like a superstar, so to say. Like he hasn't come in and taken over and like made the team his. He kind of just like filled in a role that needed to be filled. And he was the best person for it, if that makes any sense. And it's not that I'm calling him a role player. He's the second best player on the team, but he's just done a great job of fitting in. From what I've watched, he doesn't really necessarily stand out too much to me, but his presence there has been felt. They have been fantastic with him defensively, and had an undefeated week, 7 wins in a row. So the Golden State Warriors climbing up into our power rankings.
Yeah, I think Jimmy has kind of been the perfect complement for what the Warriors needed, like just a lot of high IQ plays, him being just a very effective cutter, so he gets a lot of assists from like Draymond. He moves the ball, like does a lot of little things, and also allows Steph to sit for a while and have the offense run through him, which has been great for the team. So they've been winning at a ridiculous pace since he joined the team. I didn't think they would be winning at this clip, but they've looked great, and like Draymond said, they might win a championship. So
we'll see about that. They're getting healthy too. Kuminga's back. Also, shout out to Moses Moody, who's been playing really well. He's somebody who, when we do talk the Warriors, we've always said how we don't understand how Moses Moody doesn't get more playing time. I've always thought he should be on the court. A lot of Warriors fans felt that as well. A lot of Warriors fans have had beef with Steve Kerr because of that. And he's been playing well. Kuminga's back. He's been playing well since he's been back, even though it's been a short time. Quentin Post has been a nice addition, spreading the floor as a big guy. Yeah. You know, everyone seems to be knowing their roles, which I think is a very important thing when you're talking about championship contenders, is everybody knowing their role and playing their role to the best of their ability. And right now, the Warriors seem to have that going for them, which I think is very important. So they coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, it's the LA Lakers. 40-25, losers of 4 in a row. They lost to the Celtics, Nets, Bucks, and Nuggets. I mean, a lot of this is because LeBron's out, Luka's been out. They have not been healthy. Kind of hard to judge a team when your 2 best players, especially those 2 players of that magnitude, have been out. But they do drop a few spots here just because you can't be staying at the 4 or 5 spot and losing 4 in a row, no matter like with LeBron or Luka are playing or not. Interested to see how Luka and LeBron continue, if they continue being as good defensively, specifically when Luka and LeBron get back. But right now, all we can do is wait.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was 4 in a row until you said it. But they've been really good defensively, which has kind of been a shock to a lot of people because of all the negative press Luka received as he was leaving Dallas. Investigate Dallas, please. And, investigate the Mavs. With Jared Vanderbilt getting healthy and a lot of their role players like kind of fit in with when even them adding Dorian Finney-Smith. I think it's added to their defensive presence as a team overall. Gabe Vincent has been really good. Like he's looked like more like Miami Gabe Vincent than he did when he first got to the Lakers, which has been a great addition. Austin Reeves, even in the loss they had against the Nuggets last game, played phenomenal. He played phenomenal. So it's hard to judge this team unless they're fully healthy, like you said, especially when their two big pieces are like all world players. So you hope like LeBron can come back and Luka can come back and they can kind of get back on that winning streak.
All right, coming in at number 7, it's the Memphis Grizzlies, 43-25. Last week they beat the Pelicans, Suns, Jazz, and Heat. They did lose to the Cavs at home. A Cavs team that didn't have Donovan Mitchell, which to me just kind of shows you there are levels to this, man. And the Grizzlies are not at that level. No shame in it. Not a big deal. I think they're going to be fun in the playoffs. I expect them to, maybe win a round depending on who they play. But if they lose, give who they're playing a fight. Ja's exciting. Jaren Jackson is having a good year. 7 feels right to me, though. I just can't picture this team making too much noise in the playoffs. When push comes to shove, they're just not versatile enough offensively for me.
Yeah.
Despite the rating, I know how good the rating is, people. Like, we're going to have Grizzly fans in the comments like, oh, they're first. I get it. And they push the pace, and that's good. But when push comes to shove, when the game slows down, you can't just head down, dribble into traffic, and expect good things to happen all the time for you.
Yeah, I mean, your offense has been, like, really spread out, push the pace, quickly move the ball. And now, like, I've seen a little more, like, pick and rolls with Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant.
Which is good. They should be doing that.
They should. And I think the one thing about the Grizzlies, which is, like, because they push the pace, which is very understated, is how many players they play and how deep they go into their roster when they play.
Yeah.
The last game I was watching, Marvin Bagley Jr. was playing, or Marvin Bagley, I'm sorry, was in the game, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this is where he was, first of all. Which is not, that's my, like, I didn't know he was on this team, and he was getting minutes. I'm like, this team has a lot of players, and a lot of players they play. I don't know what that a playoff rotation is going to look like with this team. Are they still going to be playing the same kind of pace, kind of balls to the wall type offense, or is it, like you said, when it slows down, are they kind of chop down rotation and play a different style? But it's anytime we've watched them or recapped them, we're like, there's something missing. We don't really like the offense, so where we have them is fine. No, what is it, 7? So
7. Yeah.
That's a. I think
That
that's
feels
very,
right.
very fair. That feels great.
That feels great. Coming in at number 6, it's the New York Knicks, 42-24. This feels fair too. Wins against the Kings.
Too high.
They did lose to the Warriors. They are missing Jalen Brunson, who is, I wouldn't say their whole offense, but you can see the offense really struggle without him, even though they actually have been playing better defense without him, which makes a lot of sense. He's not a good defensive point guard, and when you insert Deuce McBride into that mix as your starting point guard, you are going to get better defensively, but still ceiling without Jalen Brunson, still ceiling with Jalen Brunson. To me, they're just a team that struggles with roles. We talked about the Warriors and how everybody has a defined role. Well, I feel like the Knicks, those roles have been changing. Mikal Bridges, even though he hit the game winner against Portland, had some things to say about Tibbs and how many minutes players are playing. And he's been inconsistent all year, trying to find himself within the offense. It's just been a weird year for the Knicks. As a Knicks fan, it's just a team that I know is better than most teams, but at the end of the day, is not a team that's to be taken seriously. And 6 right now without Jalen Brunson feels fine.
Yeah, I'm one of the leaders of the Minutes Police, and Mikal Bridges, the statement Mikal Bridges came out and he's like, oh, the basically saying the bench should be playing more.
Yeah.
And then Tibbs was in an interview. He said, we never had that conversation. So I was like, okay, that's
Someone's lying here.
I was like, okay, but I think without Brunson right now, it's kind of kind of forced other players to step up, like,
Yeah.
because there's just more shots to be had. So, like, even though they needed a buzzer beater to beat the Blazers, like, Mikal had a good game against the Blazers. I just think you guys need to try to find some form of consistency before the playoffs. It might probably won't happen because
Not this year. No.
not this year. Like you've been saying, won't be this year, but there have been a lot of like you guys have had like some highs, I mean, and some lows, but like that when you guys look good, you look good. I'll say that as offensively, but again, my whole thing with the team is defensively, you've kind of been rough. It looks a little bit better now with Mitch Robinson, and also with Deuce, kind of changed the defensive numbers of your team, which is positive. So, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of Knicks fans saw after the trades were like, oh, this is a title contender, but it hasn't looked that way.
Not at all. All right, coming in number 5, it's the Houston Rockets, 43-25, undefeated week against the Pels, the Magic, the Suns, the Mavs, and the Bulls, all at home. This is a team that's been like, I want to say up and mostly up because they've been one of the better teams in the West for a long time, but up and down as of recently. I'm really interested to see the Rockets in the playoffs because I think they're young. I think they're exciting. I think defensively they can cause a lot of fits. When they get out and run, they're good. And Amen Thompson, to me, is a budding superstar in this league. Shout out to them. They're the 2 seed again. So they move up on the rankings. I think they were 8 last week. Now they're at 5 with an undefeated week. Kwab, your thoughts on the Rockets?
Yeah, I mean, solid week. Winning cures everything. Also being able to do that without Amen Thompson because he's out with a sprained ankle. It's kind of rough, but they gained some consistent play from Jabari Smith since he's been back from injury. Şengün is still one of the best big men in the league. Jalen Green, liable, he can give you 20, 30, or maybe 5. It doesn't, you never know what's going to happen. They're a fun team. They're a fun young team. I think depending on who they match up against, they can easily like move up during the playoffs, but I think that's going to be a big factor.
All right, coming in at number 4, it's the Denver Nuggets, 43-25 with wins against the Thunder and Lakers. They lost to the Thunder, they lost to the Wolves, and Kwab, breaking news, they just lost to the Washington Wizards. We started this episode.
Move them boys down.
We started this episode when that game was still going on. And we had it at 4, assuming that they wouldn't lose to Washington, but they did. And I'm not changing the rankings. We're keeping them where they're at. They lose to the Washington Wizards 126-123. Kind of feels silly talking about them in at number 4, but to me, had the best player in the league. To me, Jamal Murray has been playing better. If they can just tighten up the defense just a little bit, if they could figure out how to guard the pick and roll when Jokic gets put in it, I think they could have success in the playoffs. This is a team also, and this is about any team in the West, if I'm being honest with you. I can still see them losing in the second round, too. To me, I don't think they're definitively the second best team in the West. I think that title can go to a lot of different teams. You can make the argument for a lot of different teams. We just talked about it previously. But right now, because of the record, and because we didn't know they lost to the Washington Wizards when we started this, they come in at number 4.
Side note, I'll say this: the Wizards are better than your record indicates. Like, I know a lot of people don't really watch the Wizards. Let me get off my bars. I know a lot of people don't watch the Wizards. The Wizards are better, especially after they got Chris Middleton. They have a lot of nice young players. They have your favorite player, one of your favorite players, Jordan Poole. They play a very wide open type of consistent offense. It's just a lot of times they don't sustain it throughout the course of the game. I guess they were able to sustain it.
We're not talking the Wizards power rankings.
Let me transition. You gotta let me I really do this.
I don't know how we started talking about the Washington Wizards.
I mean, because they just lost the Wizards, so I'm like, look. So let me transition. Okay, so I guess they were able to sustain this offense against the Nuggets, which is a problem with the Nuggets because the Nuggets struggle defensively sometimes,
there you go.
And especially I don't think they had Aaron Gordon this game, so that factored into it. Who's probably their best defender. See how I did that? You know what I mean? Just give it time. Give it time.
And you're
man.
right. Aaron Gordon did not play. He did not play.
I'm a land a plane, baby. This not Delta, baby. I can land a plane. Let me. So yeah, look, man. The Nuggets are interesting because they have arguably the best player in the league. I keep saying that just because I know the MVP race is still in limbo. But
Listen,
arguably
best
the
player
best.
doesn't mean most valuable. I'm
Yep,
not starting. We're
facts.
not starting this.
Don't
We're not
yeah,
starting
don't
this.
start, don't
We're
start,
not
don't start.
starting this.
But they have arguably the best player, arguably the best player in the league. When you're playing their style of play, it feels like you're unstoppable to beat because you have Jokic, who's triple double threat, Russell Westbrook, who's a triple double threat, Jamal Murray, who's when he's healthy, is unstoppable. Aaron Gordon, when he plays, he's one of the best two-way players, and he's been shooting lights out from the three-point line. So it kind of helps that you can't really double on Jokic, and it opens up the floor. And Michael Porter's Michael Porter, and all the other players. So again, depending on who they match up against in the playoffs, I think that's going to be a big factor. But they have to play their style of play and pick it up defensively in order to move in the right direction.
All right, coming in at number 3, it's the Boston Celtics with wins over the Lakers, Jazz, Heat, and Nets. They did lose to the Thunder at home, a game that we covered here on the Dime. Big win for the Thunder. It showed me that I am comfortable saying, at least for now, that I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are the better basketball team. They were missing J-Dub, and they still won that game, even though, yes, we know the Celtics are missing KP. KP, hope you get better. I don't know what's going on with him. He did tweet something about having an illness.
He played against the Nets.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know that. There you go. Thanks, Kwab. So he's back, apparently. So shout out to KP. But, that loss to the Thunder at home, they've lost games against the Thunder and the Cavs, and I think being number 3 is pretty much where they should be at this point. I know that they're the defending champions, and I know that a lot of people are like, wait till the playoffs start, but, during the regular season, we've seen the 2 teams beat them. You know what I mean? We've seen the other teams beat them, and granted, they also beat the Cavs as well. It's not the Cavs that swept them. But to me, as of right now, I don't know if I would put them over the Thunder or Cavs for the rest of our power rankings for the rest of the season unless the Cavs and Thunder go on some type of losing streak. I think they're genuinely the 3rd best team in the league as far as the regular season is concerned.
Yeah, I think with the Celtics, it's going to come down to, are they healthy? Like, if they're healthy, and that includes KP, I don't know if Jaylen Brown played this game against the Nets, but if they're healthy, they're one of the championship favorites. They're still one of the championship favorites. The way the Cavs and the Thunder have been playing all year, it's hard to put a team above them. Yeah. But I know, like you said, a lot of Celtics fans are like, wait till the playoffs, because it feels like throughout the course of this season, they're just trying stuff to see if it works sometimes.
Yeah, like shooting 63 threes in a freaking game.
You know what I mean? Or like, that's like, yeah, let's just go for it today. Like, you know what?
And then Celtic fans on Twitter, look at the free throw disparity. Yeah, no shit. Like,
they didn't even touch the paint. Like, what are you on? Y'all gotta. I'm like, did we watch the same game?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
How are they gonna get to the free throw line if they shot like 33s in the first quarter? But that aside.
We digress.
That aside. Celtics are always going to be one of the best teams defensively, just because they have all their players are two-way players, all their starters are two-way players, even most of your bench players. So, to me, it always comes down to it's either going to be them or the Cavs coming out the East.
Yeah,
they're just that good. So we'll see come playoff time.
All right, coming in at number 2, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder wins over the Nuggets, Celtics, and Pistons. 3 impressive wins. They did lose to the Nuggets, the second game of that back-to-back, and a very impressive game for the Nuggets for me, which is a reason why we have the Nuggets so high and a reason why we believe in the Nuggets the way that we do sometimes. But I think, no shame in losing to the Nuggets. It is what it is. Very impressive win against the Celtics without J-Dub. Again, to me, pretty much have been the best team all year in the Western Conference, the best defensive team in the league. Chet, I think, had a really good performance against the Celtics. It's nice to see him do that. I think if he gets going offensively, especially, this team's going to be hard to stop because we say this all the time about the Thunder. Their defensive ceiling's so high that their offensive ceiling does not need to be as high as others. And if Chet can get going and if they can utilize him offensively, they're going to be really freaking hard to beat. And this definitely a championship contender for sure.
Yeah, they're a championship contender, like you said. If Chet's playing like that, puts him on another level. I'm always gonna highlight the play they get from like their others and their bench players. They always have a player step up during the course of a game and make like impact plays and impact shots. It could be the other Jalen Williams. It could be Wiggins. It could be Cason Wallace, who apparently is somebody put out a highlight clip of him blocking jump shots. Like apparently that's just thin defensively. They have all these players that are great two-way players. You always made the point when they want to turn on the defense. It's they look crazy. Like they can basically be like, yeah, we're shutting you down now. We choose this quarter. And a couple of games we've watched, they have done that, and we've just been like, yo, this might be the best defensive team we've ever seen. So yeah, they're championship contenders.
All right, coming at number 1 is the Cleveland Cavaliers, winners of 16 straight, Kwab. 16! They could finish 72-10. They could tie their record for the best regular season record of all time. And then if they win the championship with a 72-10 record, they might be in discussion for the best team of all time. How are they not in discussion for the best team of all time if you finish 72-10 and win the championship? Now, they would have to win every game from here on out in the regular season, which I don't think is going to happen. Not because of them, but just because it's hard to do that. But holy crap, like this team they've been the best team in basketball, I think, for most of the year now. I think the Thunder kind of took that crown from them. And you could argue the Thunder as well, but record-wise, they've been the best. They're playing the best basketball in the league right now. They have big victories against the best teams in the league. Comfortable with them at number 1.
Yeah, Ty Jerome propaganda.
Ty Jerome for president.
Yeah, they've been great, man. The Cavs have been great. Kenny Atkinson will probably win Coach of the Year. If I don't see any other coach like overtaking that. They've been ridiculous. Evan Mobley taking a big leap this year to become an All-Star. Their offense, the way they move the ball looks great. Their defense looks great. The trades they made, like adding DeAndre Hunter.
Oh, DeAndre Hunter has been,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like perfect. So yeah, like if they just hopefully, I'm just hoping like they get to the playoffs and do what you're supposed to do. Jared Allen, please do not put out a quote like the lights were too bright, brother. Please, I don't want to hear that shit again.
I think he'll be fine.
I really don't want to. I'm a Jared Allen fan. I saw that. I was like, please, why would you say that, fam?
As a Knicks fan, that was funny because it was against the Knicks.
Yes.
But I'm not rooting for that this year, Cavs fans, to be transparent. Also, to respond to Shaquille O'Neal really quick, like he said something like, if you take away Donovan Mitchell, what do they have? And it's like, dude, have you not watched basketball all year? You are a TNT analyst.
They don't watch.
This team is not just Donovan Mitchell at all.
They don't watch.
Like,
bro.
at all. Like, a huge reason why they are where they are right now is because of the ascension of Evan Mobley and what he's been able to do offensively. Darius Garland's one of the best point guards in the league. Like, they run an offense where everybody gets to eat. Like, this isn't just give the ball to Donovan and let's see what happens. Like, that was one of the more insane comments I've heard. And I understand. Actually, I don't understand. I don't understand. You are an analyst on TNT during the biggest games of the NBA season, and you don't. I wouldn't say you don't know this about the Cavs, but if that's the opinion you take away from the Cavs, that's sad. It's sad. It's sad.
Look, he congratulated Chauncey Billups for being the coach of the Pistons. I'm not here gonna. It's fine. Like that's I'm not gonna talk. Like the Cavs are great. Like they're. It's not just one player, and we saw that when they beat the Grizzlies just without
Donovan.
Without Donovan, and they have won a bunch of games without Donovan Mitchell. They've won a bunch of games where other players have been out, like Darius has been out. They've won, like
Mobley was out for a little.
Well, they've won like they're just a really really good team, just a really good team all around. So. And they're a championship contender, which is amazing. Happy for Cavs fans.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of The Dime. If you want to follow The Dime, you can everywhere at The Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, a.k.a. Yes. We'll see you next week, hopefully for another full episode. We'll see you in a couple days for maybe a video reaction or a game reaction. If you are listening on Apple, if you're listening on Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search The Dime with Josh and Kwab. Subscribe. We do game reactions that don't go up on our podcast feed. So check those out there. Playoffs are coming around soon, so make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're listening, make sure you're watching, and we'll see you next time on another episode of The Dime. Peace.